Hey, everybody, this is Adam Conrad, founder and CXO of Great Recruiters, and we're just waiting for a few people to come in. So just want to make sure that everybody has a chance to join who wants to. All right. Hey, do me a favor in the chat. We can hear you. Everything looks good. Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate it. And first, I'd like to kick this off just to thank Jacob and his team and candidly for putting together the World Staffing Summit again. I'm excited to be here for a third year in a row and really just fired up for today, right? This is this is the best day of our life. We're all here together, and I hope that you gain a lot from this session. And today, what we're going to be talking about is something that is so critical in the staffing arena today. And it's all around why building online trust is important and how to do it. And really, what we want to do is make sure that we cover some very important points. Hey, Logan, good to see you. Rob, man. So today, in today's session, we're going to go ahead and talk about a few things. But before we get started, just a little bit about myself for those who may not know me. I am an industry veteran. I've been in this staffing industry for about 25 years. I cut my teeth as a recruiter. I have been in recruiting management positions. I was director of operations and VP of operations and eventually COO for about a $40 million IT and engineering staffing firm. And many of the things that I did there are kind of core to the business that I started in 2017, which is Great Recruiters. And this by no means is a pitch of our product, but I want to share things that I've learned over that journey and be able to share with you how you too can help create an online reputation to build trust. We're in a digital world and trust is everything. Finding candidates is not the most difficult thing. It's getting them to want to engage with us and call us back. And there's so much out there right now that represents who we are that aren't necessarily coming through our own words as staffing firm owners and recruiters. And so today, what we're going to talk about is what is an online reputation. Just cover some key points there. We want to talk about the importance of that positive online reputation and how you can leverage that to build trust, attract more candidates, attract more clients. And 4 key strategies I'm going to share with you how to start building that positive online reputation. Real quick here in the chat, just drop in a quick note where everybody is tuning in from, and feel free to ask questions as we go along. I want this to be valuable for your time, and I appreciate you spending 45 minutes with me here today. All right, we got some folks from Columbus, Boston, Austin, Greenville, South Carolina. Love it. Texas, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, India, Troy. Oh, I love it. Somebody here from Troy, my hometown. Singapore, Massachusetts, Detroit, Columbus. Man, we got people all over the place. This is definitely a world staffing summit. So, hey, before we get going, in the chat once more, as I'm going through this, I want to make sure that I can share my experience and knowledge with you to make this the most impactful time for you today. So let me know some of the things that are in your mind as recruiters, as staffing firm owners. What are you hoping to gain out of this? What do you want to learn about online reputations and how to build trust? Just go ahead and drop those things in the chat, and I'm happy to answer them as they come along. So let's go ahead and just kick off here real quick with what is an online reputation. Number one, it's your search engine results. If you have not done this, I encourage you to Google your firm's name. See what shows up. What are people saying about you, right? It's no longer in a world where your website is what is really dictating what your reputation is. It's what other people are thinking. And so take a look at those search engine results and see what shows up. Would you call you back? You have user-generated content. I say it all the time. We are in a reviews economy. Everything that we're doing, our daily lives are driven and our decisions are driven by reviews. We read reviews. They help us make decisions. They help us trust the organizations and products and services that we use. I mean, heck, even the Uber driver has an online rating, and as a passenger, you do as well. So if you didn't know that and you ever took an Uber, you're getting rated as well. And those comments and all of those things influence what people think about you and your organization. Social media profiles, right? This is where everybody's going. Candidates, clients, they're going to Google you. right? They might check out your website. They're going to come find you on your social media. What are they reading? Is it a bunch of me agenda? Me, I need this. Or are we sharing helpful content? Are we providing value before we make that introduction and have that conversation? And I think this is a key piece to recruiters as well, creating their own social brands. Your employees' online presence as business owners, as managers, we think about this. What are people saying? What are your employees sharing out there? This is all part of that sphere of influence that people are gathering and researching this information before they're making the determination to want to give you a call back and want to engage with your services. News articles and mentions. Where are you published? Are there any articles about your organization? Are there any positive things that you're doing in the community beyond just the work you're doing as staffing organizations? These are really important things that, once again, help with that first thing of search engine results. When you get hooked up with some good news articles and publications that index high on Google search, these are all influential pieces that are all parts of the puzzle that put together that somebody is stitching in their own mind of what your online reputation is. And then obviously we have your company website and your other company profiles, right? We're at a point though, what we say about ourselves on our website isn't what other people are saying all the time. And there's a disconnect sometimes. And we want to make sure that what we're saying on that company website, the commitments that we're making, those are all things that are supported through all these other channels, right? We can tell the world how great we are, but if our online presence and our online reputation tells a different story, who are you going to believe? So when you think about it, when you engage with somebody, you call them up, you make a cold call, whether it's a client or a candidate. Most of the time, people aren't just answering the phone anymore, right? We're not just answering the phone and picking it up and talking. We're finding out who called us, we're finding out who emailed us, and the first thing we're doing is we're Googling it. And the reality is, your online reputation is predominantly what other people are saying about you. It's not what you're saying about yourself. So really take that into consideration of all the work that you put into those websites and your communications. What else are people saying about you? And so really today, we're going to go ahead and unpack this a little bit more for you. Let's talk a little bit about the impact of negative online reputations, and we'll get into the positive. One study showed that 1 in 3 candidates interviewed have been known to turn down a job offer after seeing a negative review. I can't stress the importance that your positive online reputation is centered around the reviews, the user-generated content, and what other people are saying about you. If they see this information, they may not trust you and they may pass you up. And if you're a competitor that is calling about the same job, has a better online reputation, who would you call back? I'm hoping to see if there's missing an opportunity for connection of ROI, time, and energy. Certainly, Tina will talk about that, what the ROI is of that reputation. It goes far beyond just getting people to call you back, but it's also around empowerment and engagement within your organization. Your positive online reputation doesn't just exist outside of your company, but people want to work for companies that have a positive reputation, right? Everybody wants to work with a great company. And so these things that we're going to talk about just don't transcend outside of your organization, but they're key influential pieces within inside your organization as well. So let's go ahead and dig in a little bit deeper here and what the positive impacts of an online reputation are. So Great Recruiters, we're an experience management platform. This isn't a pitch about what we do, but a lot of the things that we do hit on a lot of these pieces. And a lot of this is what we have found also through our customers. And number one, it builds trust and confidence. That's the number one reason why you want to make sure your online reputation is positive, because people are making decisions based on what they're reading, what they're seeing. All right. They're making determinations on the content that you're pushing out, what your website says. All of this puts together. And what we want to do is, from the moment they Google you, do their research, look at your online profiles, jump on your website. They're looking for consistency, and they're looking for a consistent message that is making them want to trust to work with you or give you a call back. It's going to help you ultimately attract top talent and clients. And this isn't just top talent for you to place at your organizations and your end clients, but how do you attract top talent inside your organizations? As I said before, people want to work for a company that they feel good about, that has that good reputation. Competitive advantage. We have heard time and time again of clients that are going in to new customers, new prospects. They're sitting down and they're having a conversation with them. And they're saying, hey, look, don't trust what I'm telling you, but take a look at what other people are saying about us. Google us. Take a look at what the kind of work we might be doing in the community. Take a look at the work that our recruiters are doing and what people think about working with our teams. All of this helps you gain that competitive advantage. It's going to give them peace of mind that they're working with an organization that has a high standard of quality of service. And the best way to prove that is through other people's voices and not just your own. It can help you manage crises. Like sometimes things happen and maybe there's some bad pub and there was a situation that came up. Those companies that have a positive online reputation are going to be given the benefit of the doubt more often than not. And so just another area where this can have influence and impact beyond just your daily jobs of finding candidates and placing folks at the client site. And the other thing here is cost savings. When you have a positive online reputation, okay, this is going to save you money because you're going to foster an environment where people love to work. They want to stay there. You're going to see the increased retention of your internal talent. You're also going to see the cost savings of being able to drive better referral programs. People don't refer people to people they don't trust. And so by having that positive online reputation, it's giving those other candidates, those clients, peace of mind that they're referring somebody to an organization that can help them. And then finally here, some key strategies as we kind of go through here, and we'll unpack these key strategies and help you, if you haven't started already, to build one. The number one thing you want to do is proactively manage your online presence. This isn't just checking once a year, once a month. This is having a consistent process in place within your organization that somebody owns to proactively go out there and see what's being said, right? Checking your Google search results, taking a look on social media, looking for mentions of your organizations and other parts of the internet. There are tools in place that can help you aggregate review scores all over the place and sentiment analysis. And there's some software that can help you do this. And whether you use a software or if you just use a person, it's just important that you maintain consistency to proactively manage and stay atop of your positive online reputation. This to me is the biggest thing. I mean, once again, this is what Great Recruiters does, but it's been one of the most impactful things that we've seen for our clients, for the growth of their organization, the growth of their employees, and just the growth of their place talent. You need to have a process in place to consistently ask for reviews and feedback. Some of you on the call might wait to the end of the year. You fill out a survey, right? You ask all the people you successfully placed that year, how do we do? And you might win an award at the end. But what you're missing is all of those interactions, all of those experiences that are taking place throughout the entire year. So what you want to make sure you do is consistently ask for reviews and feedback throughout the process, not just on your recruiters, but on your onboarding processes, anybody that's client facing, on your sales team, from your clients. Have those processes in place. And I always say, find the most meaningful moments to capture that information. Billy Davis, curious to know what are the biggest online reputation mistakes you've seen? Well, I think one of the biggest things you could do is to try to fake it, right? There are ways that you can boost up your Google reviews, pay all this money, have all these reviews come in. You might look great on the surface, and the mistake made is somebody calls you and the experience that somebody actually has is completely different than what is being said out there. And so that could be detrimental. We know that people who have a negative experience are 10 times more likely to tell their friends, their families about it. And so reviews are a component, but You have to have the belief that the reviews are the result of all the great work that you're doing. Your reviews are a result of the experiences you're creating. If you try to game the system, chances are the system's going to catch up with you. And I don't know about you, but if I go to a site that has 200 5-star reviews and not one negative thing, I don't trust it. Transparency is key. And so if you have negative reviews, it's okay. And we can talk about that a little bit later, how to manage that stuff. But your negative reviews only reinforce that your positive reviews are real and authentic. And I think that's the biggest thing you need to do is to make sure that whatever is out there, it's authentic and transparent. Don't try to game the system for short-term gains, because in the long term, you're going to lose. Other piece here is content. Content is king. LinkedIn algorithms love videos, right? They love fresh content. Many recruiters I see out there on their LinkedIn, they're posting what's in it for them. I've got this job. Are you interested? I've got this job. Are you interested? And they're doing very little to create value. And I see the staffing organizations of the future not just being transactional organizations, but true consultants, somebody that's helping their clients make better decisions, helping their candidates provide better decisions. We're the experts. Don't be afraid to share what you do that's unique to help candidates have success. I didn't add it in here, but I think I always strive to provide value every day in every conversation. And so you only place maybe 5% of the people that you talk to, but you have an opportunity to create a great experience with 100% of them. And that could be providing interview tips. It could be helping them work through a resume. I have seen time and time again people I've never placed who've just appreciated the work that I've done as a recruiter come back and refer business to me, refer other candidates. So make sure that you're creating content. You're not just writing the same old blogs that everybody is. Be unique, stand out. Video is king. I love all the stuff that I'm seeing out there on LinkedIn, more and more content creators that are really getting out and trying to share what are value add things for our staffing community. And I encourage you to do the same. Another piece you can do is engage influencers, right? We used to have an ambassador program at the firm I worked for. These were people that loved everything that we did. And it was awesome for them to share those stories with us internally. We took it a step further to say, how can we use these ambassadors, use these influencers through social media, through the review outlets to help them share the story and the great work that we were doing? And so there's a lot that can be done around engaging influencers who love your brand. Get them out there talking about it, give them swag. Make sure that when people see them, they say, oh, you've got a great recruiter shirt on. Tell me about them. Oh, they're the best thing out there. They take good care of us, quality service, love their product. Those are the things that we want to see from an influencer perspective. And ultimately, you need to monitor and manage your online reputation, which is different than proactively managing it. When I talk about proactively managing it, it's doing the intentional things to drive number 2, 3, and 4. Be intentional about the management, your website, your content, your social media presences, doing everything that you can to make sure that the positive is out there. But we know the internet is huge. And when you monitor and manage your online reputation, this means you should keep a pulse of everything that's been saying. You can set up little Google alerts when your company's messaged. You can get software that helps you to bring those reviews into your organization. The important thing is that you don't want to just set it and forget it and think that it's a great reputation today, because things can happen. And if you're not paying attention, you might find that Google one-page result starts showing a little bit different story, and that's not what you want to happen. So no, here, Adam, good points embedded in the activity, recruitment, branding of the company, whoever and wherever it's being represented. 100%. I think your recruiters are your biggest brand ambassadors. They're your biggest advocates. They are talking to more people about your organization than anybody else. And one bad experience, they're going to tell their friend, never work with that company again. So make sure that you're empowering your recruiters to have positive online reputations, get reviews and testimonials, give them the power to share with the communities they're reaching out to that they're somebody you can trust. Because if you can trust the recruiters, they love where they work, chances are they can trust your organization. Thanks, Neil. So moving on here. Strategies to get more online reviews. This is a big topic that I hear all the time. People are wondering what they can do to help them with their online presence, their online reviews, and I just want to share some things with you that'll help you do this better. This does take time and resources. It's not something that just happens overnight, but there are some systems that you can put in place to make this really simple for you. So number one, talked about this before, ask for reviews at the meaningful moments. Don't cherry pick. There's a lot of positive things that are happening through the journey of a candidate and a client that don't result in successful placements. And that's okay. There's a lot to be learned in the inches. And so, what I recommend is anybody that's good enough to be submitted to one of your clients, you should get feedback from that person on that experience. And that can relate in a lot of different ways to help you organizationally improve operations, but you want to capture those reviews. You don't want to just load up and get reviews all at the end of the year and then everything is blank forever. I don't want to go get a pizza based on how good it was 3 years ago. You want to show consistency in that process, that you're continuously monitoring the quality of the services that you're providing. And a great way to do that is through reviews. You need to make it easy. All right. There are sites out there that we all know, don't need to mention them, but my gosh, the barriers to entry to get a review are tremendous. I have to fill out a profile. I have to give my firstborn, whatever. There's just a lot of barriers. Make it simple. Okay. Have a link on your website. Put a link within your recruiter's email signature. Okay. Put a link on your LinkedIn. Make it easy for them to be able to provide feedback. I describe it as the "how's my driving" sticker on the back of a truck. It's everybody's opportunity to share feedback. And I would rather have that feedback, even if it's negative, I'd rather have it come back to me as an organization so I can help to resolve those issues before they become problems. Because many times negative reviews are a result of poor communication. Maybe there's just a bad fit between a candidate and a recruiter, and so we can get them a different recruiter. But if you're not making it easy for them to find that feedback or provide that feedback, they're going to find other avenues. And like I said, 10 candidates are 10 times more likely if they have a negative experience to share it somewhere online. So if you're not asking, they're still telling, you're just not in control. When you do get reviews, respond to them. Okay. Whether that means you're going to post something online and comment to it, that's one avenue. Certainly people can see it, but whether it's positive or negative, respond to it. When it's a positive review, what a great opportunity to thank that individual for taking the time and letting them know you're doing a great job. And it's also a really good time to say, hey, is there anyone else I can help? Right? You're at a moment where they had a positive experience. Yes, don't respond defensively on the negative ones, but you're at a positive experience. Leverage that. Respond to the reviews internally. If somebody is called out and one of your teammates is called out in a positive review, my gosh, put it on a board. Leadership, put it on social. Let the world know that they did a good job. And on the flip side, when it's negative, you need to respond. You need to go ahead and get on the phone. Don't go through email. Don't go through text. Get on the phone and talk to that individual. Now, when reviews are posted anonymously, that's a problem with a lot of these sites is you don't have control. You don't know who it is. And so you're trying to figure out who gave you that bad Glassdoor review. And you spend all this time and energy trying to figure that out, which is why having a platform in place that allows you to get the reviews puts you in more control, which is right here. Consider using review gathering software. There's a number of tools out there today that can help get you that feedback. Some of these are in your own automations today. Maybe you're capturing an NPS. The challenge with those and the problems they face is they weren't built to manage feedback. They don't give you a great way of getting that feedback out across social on your website. It's a good start, but there's other better software out there that's going to help you not only operationally use that review feedback to strengthen your organization, but allow you to go ahead and publicly promote that information across your website, social media, and other digital assets. Social media sharing is huge, right? We are in the recruiting community. We live on LinkedIn. Some of our clients in the healthcare live on Facebook. Make sure that you're capturing these reviews and testimonials and getting it out there to the places people are searching for you. Get out social media, and it doesn't have to be self-serving. Look at me, I did such a great job. But if I'm a recruiter who gets a positive review, I can simply say, love getting feedback like this. This is what I strive to provide in every interaction, right? And that just is a constant piece that's in that feed. It's just another point of influence and positivity. And then talking about the responding to reviews, this is interesting. When you do respond to reviews publicly, they're nearly 1.5 times more trustworthy as an organization because they show that you care. The worst thing you can do is never respond, right? Get out there, thank them for it, really appreciate it. Like I said, I love to get on the phone with them and thank them personally also, and use that opportunity to ask for that review. When it's negative, I think somebody commented, don't be defensive. Okay. We are people helping people. And we know in every interaction of our life, there are people that sometimes can be more difficult than others. What I have found is more times than not, it's more or less just a situation where there was some disagreement. There was some misunderstanding. So when you're responding to negative reviews, thank them for providing that feedback. They took time to provide you feedback, and seek to understand what you could have done better. See if you can create that open door to have that further discussion. Think about yourself, right? You have a bad experience at a restaurant or at a store or whatever it is, not feeling really good about that organization or that person. But then they come in and say, I'm sorry, that is not the experience we wanted to create. What happened and how can I make it better? Chances are, if you go through that process and you aren't defensive and you truly are seeking to understand how to make that experience better for that individual, you're going to leave them with a much better feeling about your organization. In fact, they might even come back and change their review if they gave you one. Okay. Positive reviews, I can't hit it enough. It's a great opportunity. Positive reviews equals more referrals. Just looking at some of these here. In order to increase my following on LinkedIn, what strategy should I adopt? Omar, what I would say is one is content, right? People are engaged with content. Sharing articles is one thing. You can get an article, but have an individual opinion perspective on it. Try to add value before you try to make the sale. So if you're looking to increase your following, provide videos that have helpful content that can help your audience, the people you're looking to attract, look at you as somebody who's an authority on this matter, right? Also, start following other people, engage with them, always ask for somebody to connect with you. And I think another strategy is, if you have positive testimonials and information, to share it, right? We're not going to connect with a stranger if we don't think they add any value, right? It just doesn't make sense. Salespeople out there are connected to anybody because they want to sell to anybody. But from that perspective, make sure that you're providing value so you give somebody a reason, and be intentional about it. State what your purpose is on LinkedIn. State what you're doing, well, who you help, what are you looking to accomplish, to help them self-identify that you might be somebody that can help them. Okay. Moving on here, marketing. Okay. It is tough to get referrals if you don't have a positive online reputation or a positive reputation as an individual. Referrals are the second most effective source of new hires, only those to like internal candidates or people that you already know. When we were running the staffing firm, we had a goal of doing 50% of our business from referrals. I think we exceeded that, got close to 60%. And the only way we could accomplish that is by creating a great experience, providing positive reputation where people who didn't know us saw positive things. But when somebody has a positive experience and they like the work that you're doing, it's a great opportunity to ask them. This should be like every staffing firm can solve so many problems if they really focus on creating great experiences, getting the feedback to make sure they're doing a great job, and leveraging those positive ones and turning them into referrals. You will cut your costs down drastically on job board spends. They're going to last longer. And when you present a candidate to a client and you say, hey, this was personally referred by Steve or Susie, you know them, it automatically builds that trust as well. We can grow from positive. I agree. You grow more from the negative than the positive. We have stories all the time of recruiters that might not realize how they may position themselves, or maybe they're not as responsive. And when you get that real time feedback, you're actually able to course correct quickly. And Snell, it is an art. There are organizations who don't care. And I think those organizations, if you probably look at their profit margins, directly align with the effort and the care that they put into managing that reputation. I'm not saying you have to do this to have a profitable business. I'm just saying that if you take these strategies, those companies who are doing very well in this area typically are going to have much higher profit margins than those that don't. Influencer marketing. This is where people who love you, this is where your automation. Billy Davis, you still on? I don't know if you are, but my gosh, I was one of the first customers of Herefish, now Bullhorn Automation. And we use that platform to find the people. We had our own review process. And when we found someone that loved what we're doing, we maintained connection and engagement with that individual, right? This is them telling their friends they're doing a great job. Even if they don't get placed, they're still talking about that positive experience. As humans, we want to share the positive experience. We want to help our friends find companies that are going to provide that positive experience. Okay, so when you find those influencers, we used to have brand ambassadors. We had large clients, and these were folks that were living and breathing our organization. And we wanted to make sure that we helped to acknowledge them and reward them and thank them for helping to drive the good word of the work that we were doing. And is this going to be everybody? No, but you certainly can have those influencers that do that. Also, finding other organizations that might complement what you do, that might not be a direct competitor, but it's a great way. Hey, I didn't place light industrial engineers, but I had a contact at a company that did, and I would refer candidates that way. And right there, that's influencer marketing for them. And if they had a high level engineer that we placed and they didn't handle it, they were passing on leads to us as well, because we were two trusted organizations working. From a kind of talked about this a little bit, just the strategies. When you are setting this up and you are engaging the influencers, don't ask them just to go out and say good things about you. Have a strategy, have a plan, have a process in place to help them build credibilities. You can also find maybe there's a great person providing content in the staffing industry, and they're just providing all this great information and content to candidates to help them in their career journey. Get to know those individuals. Maybe there's an opportunity to do a blog together, to do a video together, to do a LinkedIn live. And these individuals who might not be directly in staffing but are influencing it, are also great avenues to build those relationships with. And they're not going to want to work with you if you don't already have a positive online reputation. So kind of wrapping up here, a few things I want to touch on is how to build trust with clients. Okay. Number one, the number one thing you have to do is you have to be committed to providing top-notch customer service. You can't just say you provide the best service if you really don't. You can't just say that you're the best out there if the experience they have isn't good. So you need to measure that to make sure. But providing great customer service is not just words on your website, it is the actions and behaviors and the processes driven by the people in your organization. Talked about it. Share positive reviews and testimonials, right? In your sales efforts, help your audience know that you're doing a great job. If you're helping to place engineers, Get 3 or 4 testimonials from engineers that you had to say, hey, look, this is the quality of what we do. Get reviews and testimonials from your other clients that might not want to jump on a call, but are happy to give you that testimonial. These are all very positive and powerful things that you can use in RFPs or just in your overall conversations as you're prospecting. This is it. If you're authentic, honest, and transparent, it's going to go miles for you. If you say you are authentic, honest, and transparent, and the experience somebody has contradicts that, you are going to do damage. You're better off just not saying that you are, because people are going to figure it out, and it's going to result in them not saying good things about you or your organization. Ask for and act on feedback regularly, right? When you're engaging with your clients, sometimes the biggest reason when I talk to staffing firms why they aren't getting feedback is because they're afraid of what's going to be said. Because maybe they did screw up, right? Maybe they didn't deliver what they said they were going to deliver. But don't let fear be a barrier for you to ask for that feedback. It says a lot about your commitment as an organization of the type of quality service that you want to provide. And so have regular QBRs, have a regular quarterly outreach to these hiring managers. Seek to understand, because if you approach it as you're not a transactional piece, just putting butts in seats, but you truly want to be a partner to those organizations, then you need to have honest and open conversations. And if you did make a mistake, own it. Own it and ask, what could we do moving forward to avoid this from happening again? Or how can we improve that quality of service that we did? That to there, right there, just starts building trust with individuals. Okay. Don't be afraid. If you're afraid to ask for feedback, you might be in the wrong business. Back, and somebody said earlier, negative feedback is more powerful than positive. It is, because I don't want to go around the world thinking I'm one thing where everybody else is thinking I'm something different. I want to know what other people think about the service that I'm providing as an individual. And that's me as Adam Conrad sitting here with today. I love feedback. And believe me, throughout my career, I have gotten feedback that I have not enjoyed getting. And it's not the easiest thing to hear. But if you truly want to better yourself and better your organization, then listen, right? Reflect on what you could be doing better and improve it. And then go back and say, hey, we talked about this. You said this. I did this. Is the result better? Right? So go back and make sure that those changes that you're making are getting the results that your clients are looking for. Be available. This is simple. Clients, if it's a client, it doesn't matter who my schedule is. If a client needs help, I'm there for them. I want them to know that when they have a problem, we're here for them to solve it. I might not be the answer. Okay. I might not be the answer, but I'll tell you what, I can at least help them find the answer. And that's being a consultant. That's being a partner. That's not promising that you're going to make every placement, that you're going to solve every problem, that you're going to do all those things. It's just saying you have somebody you can trust who's willing to sit down with you, be available, and talk through the problems. And right there, that is so key to sales today. And I don't look at it as a sales process anymore. This is a buyer's journey. And as salespeople, we need to help the buyer go around the journey, go through the journey. We need to seek to understand. We don't need to push our agenda. We have to understand the problems, understand the gaps, and position ourselves, if we do have a solution, to help them understand how that solution is going to solve it. If we don't, pass them on to somebody else who you think can. Providing a referral and sending your client somewhere else to solve the problem, they're going to respect you and appreciate you for that. And believe me, they're going to come back again and ask for help. And be reliable. I think this comes down to just do what you say you're going to do. Be a reliable resource to them. Don't just be another cog in the wheel, right? Don't just be the person who's just trying to slam as many submittals against these open orders. Be a reliable resource that's going to be there for them for the long term. And overall, if you do these things, people aren't going to want to talk to you if you don't have a positive reputation. It's just the way of the world. And once you get engaged with those individuals, you have to make sure, and this is from a friend of mine, Matt Dickens over at his studio, he says, do what it says on the tin. And all that means is if you're going to say you're going to do this, do it. That's being reliable. If you can't do it, don't lie, right? Don't tell them you can do something you can't, because that's just going to turn out to be a disaster. So for the last few minutes here, I want to open up to any Q&A. I'm happy to be an open book of any questions anyone has here. I hope the information that I provided thus far has been helpful. There's a lot of content, a lot of information I shared. My goal is maybe you took at least one thing away from today that you can bring back to your organization, but happy to open the field up for any Q&A. How many times should you post daily when getting started with content? I think that's a matter of the type of content that you're providing. I think getting started, posting often that has little value has a smaller impact than posting something of value, right? And so think about who your audience is first. Always think about who you're talking to, and don't think about what your needs are. Think about what their needs are, right? Where are they in their journey? And how can you speak to that point in that journey to provide helpful, insightful information? Sure, as a recruiter, post a job. It's always great to know I had a job. I like to post content that is original, just my thoughts, perspectives on the industry. I like to comment on other people's posts that I think are insightful, that I might be able to add some color to. I like to post a review here and there of the great work that we're doing, because I'm proud of our team. I'm proud of our organization. Video is a big piece. I can't say it enough. Our friends over at Pager have a great tool to help drive social media for staffing, and they're doing some good things over there. But I would say the number one thing is be consistent. Any other questions that I can answer? Logan, thank you. You've been a great partner to Great Recruiters. This isn't a GR pitch, but I think what you shared there is a testament to the platform that we have and how well it works. All right. Well, I don't need to keep talking if there aren't any other questions. I'm happy to answer anything. You can follow me on LinkedIn. Feel free to connect with me. You can reach out directly to me, adam@greatrecruiters.com. I love this industry, and as many of us, I fell into it and I fell in love. And all I want to do is, and the reason I started Great Recruiters, because I just want to help those firms out that are looking to make a difference in the modern era. So Great Recruiters, we are built to help you get reviews, build trust, and win more. We are more than just a reviews. Reviews are the result. It's really the experience management piece that helps you drive a great experience that results in great reviews and referrals, and help you from that brand perspective of getting page one great Google results, have a ton of testimonials to share and reviews. So if you are interested in learning any more about Great Recruiters, check out our website. And once again, feel free to reach out to me at adam@greatrecruiters.com. And once again, I would just really like to, Jan, for inviting me to this World Staffing Summit. Has been an amazing journey here over the last 3 years. I love what you guys are doing. And I'm just really pleased that I was able to be part of it with you today. And I wish you all the best. Today is the best day of your life, because it is today. It's what you can control. It's what you can do, right? Tomorrow, well, we don't need to say what tomorrow is, but today is where you have the control, the focus. So get 1% better every day and life will be good. Thanks so much. Signing off. Take care. Hey, Steve, if you're still on, Steve asked the question. I just saw this in the QA. When you make a commitment when you realize you can't meet, what do you suggest is the best approach? Honesty, right? Chances are you didn't make that commitment because you knew you couldn't do it. You made that commitment because you thought you could. And I think the sooner you realize that you can't make the commitment, a lot of times we want to backpedal and try to save that. I think sometimes it's maybe realigning expectations, but I would suggest getting on a call, letting whoever you made that commitment to know, hey, look, I was very confident we were going to be able to accomplish this, but based on circumstances of A, B, and C, I need you to know that I'm feeling that we're not going to be able to meet that commitment. And how do you suggest we move forward? They may want to adjust what the scope is. They might want to say, no, I think you're doing a great job. They might say, well, what are the areas that you're having a problem with? Maybe there's other resources that can be brought in. But I think the number one thing to do, certainly, is to be honest and transparent about it. I mean, that's the best you have is your own integrity. Thanks, everyone. Truly signing off. Have a great day.